Καλημέρα σας. Good morning. To immediately invite the artistic director of the Megaro Concert Hall here in Thessaloniki, which is hosting the third day of the CoMuseum conference, to welcome us all in the Thessaloniki Concert Hall. So, Mr. Galilaias.
Good morning. I would like to welcome you to the Thessaloniki Concert Hall for the 14th time. The Benaki Museum, the Embassy of the United States of America to Athens and the British Council, the International CoMuseums Conference for Museums and Cultural Organizations. This year's CoMuseum focuses on museums and credibility, and it will try to consider and review the way museums and cultural organizations as institutions which have the trust of citizens can contribute to the improvement of people's lives by meeting the contemporary challenges of society, such as fair treatment and inclusion. We're going to have 3 days full of speeches, actions, and other activities. CoMuseums, we understand, is an international platform of knowledge which focuses on the prosperity of cultural organizations and communities, the communities they serve, which will strengthen production and exchange of new ideas, and at the same time facilitates and favors the creation of networks and synergies among professionals in museums on an international level. I will not tire you with further thoughts. I would like to say that it's an exceptional organization. It is under the auspices of the Museum of Culture, and we are very pleased to host this event here at the museum, at the Concert Hall of Thessaloniki. I'm certain that in a few minutes you will have the opportunity to hear many diverse and very interesting views, which will be very enriching for all of us, especially organizations of culture, to be more innovative and to be better. Congratulations on all the organizers. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Galilea, both for this hospitality.
The CoMuseum. I would like to invite now the U.S. Consul, Salina Rico, to give her welcome remarks.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. It really is truly an honor to join you here today at the Thessaloniki Concert Hall. It's a beautiful location for the 14th International CoMuseum Conference. So congratulations for those of you that have been doing this for so long. And of course, thank you so much also for those that have been putting this together and this wonderful program. I know that some of you have just arrived from Athens and beyond. So welcome to Thessaloniki. And then for everyone else, you're in for a treat. So I'm glad that you guys are able to participate, for those that are here and then all of those that are also online. So I can't help but share just I visited Momos last night and I spent at least 2 hours taking it all in, and I discovered, you know, new feelings, new images. You know, it reminded me of the most horrible things that people do to each other and ourselves, but also the most beautiful things that humanity is all about. And I left feeling inspired. It helped me think differently about, just the world outside. We get really caught up in the day-to-day things and the routine, and having an experience, going to a museum, really is an experience. It really is inspirational. So I just wanted to share that it was just a nice coincidence that I just had a chance to go to a museum yesterday. So I'm going to share a statistic here for you. According to the report by the American Alliance of Museums, 9 out of 10 Americans consider museums to be trustworthy, tied with family and friends for being the most trustworthy institution, even more than government or media. So people who have visited museums in the previous 2 years were even more likely to trust museums as one of the most reliable sources of information. People place their trust in museums as neutral institutions where facts are presented without bias. Well, but we all know that museums cannot separate themselves from the social and historical contexts in which they exist. Museums don't just preserve and exhibit history, but they interpret it and contextualize it and make it accessible through selective storytelling. Museums present on topics that are sensitive and often controversial, such as human rights, injustices, and sustainability. Museums have the potential to bring about positive social change in our communities and to use their influence to inspire, to advocate for diversity and inclusion. If museums try to embrace the myth of neutrality and avoid social issues facing us today, they stand to lose their relevance and purpose. So, how can museums build trust without maintaining neutrality? Through embracing transparency and accuracy, and through presenting complex histories through diverse narratives, which many of you know too well, the difficulty in putting a museum together and making sure that it is transparent. Museums confront uncomfortable truths, right? Through talking about accountability for past injustices, of how objects were acquired and how the stories of marginalized communities were erased. Through remaining open to dialogue. These are important and meaningful ways museums can continue to maintain trust with the general public and to build trust with communities that have previously felt overlooked or misrepresented. Trust is also built through how museums treat the people who visit them and those who work within them. When museums foster a culture of respect, inclusion, and dignity for those that work there, it radiates outward to visitors and the wider community. Maintaining a welcoming and inclusive environment in the museum is as important as the exhibit within it. So there are so many complex, often polarized issues facing museums today, from combating misinformation to addressing the legacies of colonialism, yet the role of museums has never been more crucial than today. Museums do have the power to influence, to challenge, and to inspire. Museums must remain spaces where people feel free to think outside the boundaries of everyday norms, where people can escape into other dimensions other realities, other possibilities, and come out with the feeling of truly being nurtured, being informed, and being exposed to new information and new ways of seeing the world. In doing so, museums can continue to remain relevant, impactful, and worthy of the trust placed in them by the public. So we all look forward to learning from each other today, and all those that are traveling from outside the city, and those that manage museums here in Greece, and those around the world, including the United States. I do look forward to this meaningful cross-cultural exchange that lies ahead today. And of course, for those of you that are here in town just for a short amount of time, I do hope that you are able to sneak in quickly for a quick museum stop here in Thessaloniki. It is a wonderful city filled with lots of history. So thank you again for taking the time to be here and for participating in this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you to the U.S. Consul. Now I would like to invite our partner in crime. The CoMuseum is a collaboration of the Benaki Museum, the U.S. Embassy, and the British Council, and I'm happy to announce my close collaborator, Maria Papaioannou, who's the art director for the British Council. So please, Maria.
Καλησπέρα. Χαίρομαι πάρα πολύ που είμαι εδώ. Now I'm gonna...
Good afternoon. I'm delighted to be here.
Dear Artistic Director of the Thessaloniki Concert Hall, Mr. Galilaias, dear speakers, dear esteemed guests in person and online. CoMuseum International Conference is a 3-day program that continues to stand as a beacon of collaboration, innovation, and reflection for the museum and the broader cultural sector. Since 2020 and its re-establishment in a hybrid format, the CoMuseum Conference has solidified its role as a vital meeting point for cultural professionals from the UK, the US, and Europe, but also from across the globe. This conference is more than just an annual gathering for the museum sector per se. It is a call to action for museums and cultural organizations to adapt, evolve, and confront some of the most pressing challenges of our time. For the last 2 days in Athens, we have been exploring how museums and cultural organizations, as trusted institutions, can enhance people's lives and promote the principles of fairness, diversity, and sustainability. These principles are not abstract ideals. They are the foundation upon which stronger and more inclusive societies can be built. We know that with trust comes great responsibility. That means ensuring transparency and fairness, countering misinformation, and actively engaging with communities to maintain and build upon this trust. And as Sophia Henderson, our speaker from the Migration Museum in London, mentioned yesterday, it is about representation, it is about ensuring people are heard and seen. It is about bringing stories from the periphery to the forefront, creating a space where those stories are valued and presented. It is about bridging the past with the present and offering a platform for meaningful dialogue about our shared future. As a proud partner of this conference, we, the British Council, alongside the Benaki Museum and the US Embassy in Greece, and in collaboration with the Thessaloniki Concert Hall, the British Embassy and the Norwegian Embassy, the British Council, we remain focused to our commitment to connecting people, creating opportunity, and fostering collaboration across borders and disciplines. This year, we celebrate our 85th anniversary in Greece and our 90th anniversary globally, and CoMuseum International Conference is a great example of what we do best: growing connections, supporting understanding, and building trust for a more peaceful and prosperous world. With CoMuseum and the wider Museums Revisited capacity building, that we have created for the museum sector in Europe. We try not only to reshape institutions, but to reimagine their role in fostering sustainable change, driving cultural, social, and economic development, and offering bold and contemporary responses to global challenges. Today, we reaffirm our shared commitment to this transformative vision. Before I close, I would like to thank our partners, our collaborators in Athens and in Thessaloniki, the Hellenic Ministry of Culture, the Municipality of Athens, the Municipality of Thessaloniki, and ICOM Greece, our guests, and everyone who joins us online from all over the world. Just to say that we had more than 1,500 registrations online. Our wonderful speakers and moderators, our colleagues from Thessaloniki, especially Ioanna Koutsounnanou and Chrysoula Melidou, and of course our teams from the Benaki, the British Council, the Thessaloniki Concert Hall, and the US Embassy. Let's get inspired, motivated, exchange ideas, and make the most of the third day of the conference. Thank you all for being here.